Do you know what time it is? It's time for another episode of the Peak Signing Agents Podcast with me, your host, DVO Derek Van Otten, and I'm honored to be back on another episode with you. I hope you're having a fantastic morning, day, evening, or night whenever you listen to or watch the podcast. I hope you're having an amazing day. Okay, on this episode, I thought I would share tips on a form that you might come across. You might come across it often or maybe not quite often. And I just want to share with you what that form is, what the form means, and how I explain it when I'm doing a signing. Now, if you're looking at the episode, you probably know what form I'm talking about because it's the name of the podcast episode, which is the 1-4 family rider. Or another form are the assignments of rent or the assignments of rents and leases. So I thought I'd share what that form is, maybe a little bit of information on what that form really is, and then how I explain it when I'm doing a closing. So I thought I would share that with you, and I hope it brings some value. And if you feel like it brings value, you see somebody ask this question in a forum, or you see someone ask this question, please feel free to share the episode with them and tell them to refer back to this episode on the explanation and the simple way to do it. Because when I explain documents, I do a very simplified version of the documents. Like I said before, my average closing for a mortgage of any type is maybe on average 25 minutes. That's probably my average, okay? So hope this helps. What is the 1-4 family rider? Well, let's break down the words a little bit more. 1-4 is talking about 4 or less units to the property. For example, let's just say somebody is buying, and this is going to be referring mostly to investment properties. Okay, if someone's investing in a home because they want to turn it into an Airbnb, or it's a place that they heard is a hot market for real estate and they've got renters right away, so they might buy a home that they're going to rent out. That's an investment property for the borrower, and so that's going to count in the 1-4 family rider. Also, if it's a duplex, a triplex, a quadplex, right? We're talking about 4 or less units. That's why it's called 1-4. When you start getting to 5 or more units, now we're looking at apartment buildings, we're looking at commercial property, and it's just looked at differently by lenders and underwriters. We're talking about possibly more underwriting. Maybe it's a little harder to be eligible to get to be financed for the property, or maybe there's a higher interest rate, for example. So it just has different qualifications once you get to 5 or more units. But if it's 1-4, you're going to see the family rider. Again, I just give you examples. Someone's buying a house that they're going to rent or lease or whatever. A duplex, triplex, quadplex. Those are just examples, the most popular examples of when someone's going to be using the 1-4 family rider. Now, if we're getting into 5 or more units, or they're literally buying an apartment complex with, 20 units or 100 units, or maybe it's somebody buying a commercial building. I'll give you an example of someone that I interacted with. It was a doctor. A doctor was buying a whole complex. Now, I don't know what else was in the complex, but you've been into a doctor's office, right? That's in a complex. And there's other units there. There's going to be a dentist, maybe a massage therapist, maybe a nail salon, a tanning salon. These are going to be common in that complex. So in this example, the doctor client of mine was buying a whole unit, and there was multiple other units in there for other businesses. So we're looking at a commercial building. No one's going to be living there. Hence, when it comes to 1-4 family rider, the family rider part is because someone's going to be living there. Someone's going to be renting out units there to live in. That's why it's a family rider. Now, how I explain this, or actually what does that mean? What do these mean? They basically mean the same thing. So if it's going to be 4 units or less and someone will be living in it, that's a 1-4 family rider. If it's 5 units or more, or it's a commercial building, now we have the assignments of rents or the assignments of rents and leases. And they basically are going to be saying the same thing, which is if the borrower is not making payments, right? They've totally skipped making their payments. They haven't made payments in a couple months. The lender's trying to get a hold of them. That means the lender can go to the tenants. They can go to the renters and say, hey, you now are going to be you're not going to be making payments to your landlord. They're not making payments, and you're going to get kicked out because we will foreclose. So instead of making payments to your landlords, you're going to be making payments to us, the lender, directly. And so the lender is saying, all right, borrower who we let borrow money for this unit, you are not making payments to us. We are going to your renters. We are going to your tenants and saying, hey, now make payments to us directly. Do not pay your landlord. We want to make sure we're getting paid. That's what that form is doing. How I say it, and I'm going to share how I say it. If you have a different way of explaining this, please go to YouTube and put a comment on what you might be saying or doing. But this is what I say. When I get to the deed of trust or the mortgage, depending on your state, and I just, as I go through the deed of trust or mortgage, I'm just kind of reading down. It's mostly going to be bold. So I just kind of hit the bold parts. And I just say, here's the names on the title. And I point to the names. And I go, here's the lender. Here's the title company. I just point to those names. Here's your mortgage balance. And I point to that. And I go, here are any additional writers. And I go, look, we have a couple boxes. We have the 1 to 4 family writer. Or we have the assignments of rents writer. And maybe we have a PUD writer. I don't know, whatever, right? I'll just point those writers and then I say this. After this, we're going to go and I'm going to explain those other writers right after we sign this. So then I go to the signature page, they sign the deed of trust or mortgage, and then I go, okay, all right, here is our first writer. This is the 1 to 4 family writer, or I'll say, this is the assignments of rents writer. Whatever writer is, I'll just say what it is. And what this is saying is if you default on making your payments, the mortgage company will go to your renters or your tenants and tell them to make the payments to them. That way, the mortgage company is getting paid. They should know this. They should understand. This shouldn't be a surprise to them, but we have to make sure they understand everything they're signing. We have to explain every page that they're going to sign, and that is exactly what I say. All right, here's that first writer. It's the 1 to 4 family writer. Here's that first writer. It's the assignments of rents writer. And basically what this is saying is if you personally are defaulting on making the payments to the mortgage company will go to your renters or tenants and make sure that they pay them directly. And that's how I explain it. And that's what this form is for. All right. So just a little history on what this form is for. In case you get into real estate yourself or real estate investing, and you decide to buy a commercial building or an apartment unit or something small, these are the forms that you will encounter. Okay? These are just extra writers that you will encounter one day. I hope that helps you. Again, if you say something differently, go to YouTube and comment, let me know, and let the people know what you say and what you might do differently on that page. All right. I hope that helps you. Hope it's another great episode for you. I know this is going to be a simple episode, but sometimes we have just simple episodes because I just want to explain a certain page to you. I saw this question asked. I've seen a lot of questions asked about certain pages, and so I'll go across those. Again, this podcast is for notaries and signing agents. My goal is to help you become the best notary and signing agent that you can be. And so sometimes we're talking about entrepreneurship. Sometimes we're talking about the way we think. Sometimes we're talking about laws, and sometimes we're talking about forms, right, that we might run across. And so this is going to be one of those episodes, and I hope it helps you. Or maybe you were saying this differently, and I hope this helps you to explain it a little better. Practice, practice, practice. I hope your closings are taking about 25, 30, 35, 40 minutes. That's about a good time frame of a window. I just use simple phrases like that. Simple sentences, I should say. Not even phrases. Simple sentences like that on every page. And that's why my closing just goes smoothly. We just keep passing the page. Let's keep going. Let's just keep getting this page signed. Good news, me and my signing agent friends are going to be doing one-on-one notary coaching with you. That's right. We're going to rotate. One of us coaches every week will be on a Zoom call. We're going to answer all of your questions. Then throughout the week, you can send us messages. We'll respond and answer all your questions that you might have. And at the end of the week, a new coach will come on and give you coaching. This is going to be revolutionary. If you're interested, go to the show notes and click on my one-on-one notary coaching link, and I'll see you there. All right. Well, anyway, keep being the amazing notary and signing agent you are, because why? You deserve it. Your family deserves it. You deserve a dream life, and keep chasing the dream life that you are after. And I'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye.